Hello, welcome you all. Today we are going to learn about the major evolutionary events in the time scale. So let us discuss the same. Okay, so we know that evolution is all about the change. The change in the environment, whether it leads to development of organism or cell, as well as development of other species. So if we talk about the development of other species, so there are different type of species that are present in our planet, belongs to different category. Some of them are reptiles, some of them are fishes, okay. And the earlier time, after the evolution, during the evolution time and after the Big Bang explosion, there is a certain pattern of time was there. Let me show you with the same so that you can have some review that what type of pattern I'm here talking about before we are going to learn about all those geological scale. So at 4.5 billion years ago, the earth forms, and then afterwards that particular size, that mass size body, the thea, that is something a form of a cell or the singular the balloon type structure which blast, and then it result in a condensation. So then 4.5 to 4.4, the chemical traces was there of the life from the deep sea vent, and that is from the hydrothermal vent, because the temperature was very hot and the hot dilute too. And 4.2 billion years ago. Now I have kept a question mark here. So 4.2 means the primordial sea development here. Now these primordial sea led to the development of other type of organism in the same? No. The answer is no, but they led to the development of the organic molecule. Now 4.1 billion years ago, it's all about the life where the carbon trapped inside the grain of zircon cellular life existed at that time. It means this is all about the name of all those geological events that occurred, and it having a direct connection with those elements that are mentioned in this particular table or the chain that I have presented for you, so that a small review can be there. As if we go a simple life plan, we know that the first cell was originated 3 billion years ago in simple. So the same thing is mentioned 3.7, 3.9, around 3 billion years ago. Okay, first sign of life is 4 billion years ago. Okay, so this is something we need to understand the pattern. Okay, that all the changes that has been done. Now if we talk about those evolutionary change, and you can see here eons, era, geological time scale. So what does it mean? Why we are learning this geological? We learn about that theories, okay, that is understood. We learn about experiment and which is aerobic or anaerobic, that is understood. But geological point of view we are learning because it is having a direct connection with the development and the origin of these species. Now the question is how? Geology means related to the boundaries, related to the surface, related to the geology of the boundaries, okay, that was in our earth surface. So if we talk about the boundaries that were nearby the earth surface, that were playing a very important role, boundary in the sense that different type of events occur, and after a boundary means let us say 4.4 to 4.3, 4.3 to 4.2, otherwise different range was there actually. So that geology is having a direct connection with the geographical patterns that were there at the evolutionary time, as well as those evolutionary pattern is directly connected with the having a direct connection with all the elements that are present in the product table. So I'm writing here these all elements having a direct connection with the product table of the element. Let us say purple sulfur bacteria having a sulfur, and in case of prokaryotes, there was a splitting, there was no water molecules, so astros used to split into 2 proton, okay, and 2 electron and plus 2 sulfur. So this is the pattern, right? And same case can be understood in case of if we talk about that is something when there is no oxygen, in case of when there is a oxygen is there, okay. So this is anoxygenic, this is oxygenic, okay. So we can say, I'll just write it, So let me explain you. So in oxygenic case, we require the O2. So means where two H2O molecules split into the two proton, isn't it? No. This 2H2 molecule will split into the 4 proton. Okay. It will make a proton gradient and then 4 electron and then 4 oxygen. So this is the pattern, right? Now this evolution is connected with these time scale that happened. These everything, whatever the process was there, they happened in the stages, right? So whatever those stages, that is very important to understand. Let us start this geology, okay, to understand the event. Now, geological event is having an important connection with geological time. Geological time. Okay, let us say what is geological time. You know, the oldest time, that just I have shown you that table. Okay, the record of the life forms where the lot of events occurred in the past, in the earth history, the bombardment and earth formation, primordial soup, and you know, first sign of life appeared, and you know, organic molecule from non-living. And the key concept means the time span of the earth past is so great. The geologists use the geological time scale. You know, after understanding of pro and U and aerobic and anaerobic, now is the time to understand the evolutionary pattern of those geological event. Now how does it occur and how they classify into different type of, let us say, eons you are going to learn. Okay. You will going to get that term eons here, and then after eons you are going to learn, apart from the same, you have the era. After era you will be having a periods. After periods you will be having a epoch. So this is the pattern actually you need to understand. So where the geological events are divided in the same. Let us say eon was that event, you know, where all the event occurred. Okay, so in those eons the events occurred. And era is basically where all those events, you know, era is the part of it. Okay, if we talk about the periods is something like, you know, let us say in year we have a month, so era is something a year and period is the part of it. So we were having, as I talked about here, okay, as I talked about like the fish, okay, reptiles, okay, as well as different type of species of marine organism as well as included in the same. So they evolve in the same. I'll show you something more. Okay, so now I hope that things are clear to you here. Okay, now the thing is, what is eon? So eon is the most wide category. Okay, the most wide category which is divided into these 3 categories. First subcategory, Phanerozoic, Proterozoic, Archean, Hadean. These 3 were very old. You know, scientists was unable to characterize and categorize the fossils at the time. The connection of the fossils with the rock. Let us say there was one. Now you know why we are learning this thing. This will help us to understand that fossil that was there with the rock. So that fossil age with the dating we can analyze, and these eons play a very important role. So this was a widespread pattern, okay, for the geological understanding. The first class, and afterwards the subclasses started. So eon is something Phanerozoic, Proterozoic, Archean, and Hadean. And the name is indicating Archean, it's the old one. Hadean. So these 3 were old. Okay, this is something Cambrian. Okay, this is Cambrian one, means this is something very old, where scientists was unable to find the fossils and so many things was there. Okay, now here